Other messages, I mean, because clearly it's been you've been on a losing streak, and your team is injured. So I mean, everything is, it's like you're back against the wall. What other words are you using, or what other lines are you telling your team going into this game tonight?
Yeah, we just got to stay together. I mean, I think that's a big thing. We talk about sisterhood. That's important through the highs and the lows. We have to be a resilient group. Some players are having trouble with their shot. You just got to stay confident. We've got to have a little bit of discipline, and we've got to have that grit. I mean, they're the stuff that we really talk about. And just have fun. Really, it's a ball game. We know we got some key players out, but no one's sorry for us. Other teams have the same, not all teams, but some. They're the teams that are probably struggling. But we're more than capable. So I thought it was good. It was good for them to get that win, because it's tough losing. No one likes to lose, me in particular. But the players have to be rewarded for their hard work. And I thought Natasha Howard really kicked us off in that second half when we needed it to. We had a lot of good players tonight, but really, really proud of Crystal Dangerfield to come in and play such a big role for us.
Brad?
When you're coming into this game, did you get a sense of how frustrating the team was? Just the losing, injuries, and how badly did you need this?
Yeah, we needed it really bad. Losing, but we needed to fight. Like I think sometimes we're our own worst enemy when things aren't going well. It's contagious. The energy is not where it needs to be, and you just got to fight. And the only way you can do that is with 5 players on the court being connected, not worrying about makes and misses. If you make a mistake, make an aggressive mistake. You got to move forward to the next play. I think. They want to win. They want to win bad, but sometimes they get in their own way. To be quite honest, it's that mental part. You've got to be able to have a short-term memory and be able to play that next action. And because when we get in our own heads, we forget to execute the scout and how we want to play. And that's hard as a coach for me when I'm trying to put them into action, how to exploit stuff. But if we're not thinking and being, smart basketball players, it's hard to win. And I think we found that back, but it's one win. It's good to win, but now we have to continue to build and chemistry too, but also that poise when we're under pressure.
Hi Sandy, Brian Thompson from the Daily. In the first matchup, Indiana won the rebound battle by 24. Tonight you guys won by 6. What do you think worked for you guys in the glass tonight? Well,
I mean, you can't. It's embarrassing for our post players, our experienced post players, to be out rebounded by 2 rookies. We're out rebounded by the whole team, and it's just a mindset. It's doing the little things well, and it's everyone. It's not just the post players, but because we switched a lot too. It's just having a physical mentality and finishing plays, because it's been an Achilles for us a little bit. Hard to get out and run when you have to take it out of bounds all the time. There's second chance opportunities. We'll get too many, and so it's really keep talking about it. You just got to do it, and it's just consistency in that area. So we didn't let it happen again. So hats off to obviously Steph and Tash. They did a great job.
One thing you guys have talked about as a team and in other press conferences is managing turnovers. Only 12 tonight, 3 after halftime.
Yeah.
What do you think was the biggest sort of adjustment the team made after the break to sort of get things more under control when it came to
Yeah. Look, I think that's a big step for us, because we talked about it at halftime. Is knowing they're switching, but we're trying to force the action. Just make simple passes. They're 3-quarter fronting. Don't just bounce pass it in. Keep moving the ball to the other side. We don't need to go for the mismatch in the first side. If it's open, it's open. If it's not, we got to. So I keep drilling into it. We're going to keep moving the ball, because out of the movement we'll create some mismatches and better shots. So I thought once we started that's how we got separated in that 4th quarter. You saw Beck Allen coming off some stuff, just moving the ball out of the action, and that's when it's hard to guard. If you're one-dimensional, who's going to shoot it, and we're too predictable.
We'll go to Zoom. Jeff?
Thank you. Coach, congratulations on the win. I was hoping we could talk a little bit, if you please, about the performance of Anshu tonight. Doesn't reach double figures, but she does contribute 6 rebounds and looked, in my opinion anyway, her most aggressive in the interior yet. So what can you say about the impact Han made tonight, particularly in the board game?
Yeah, look, it's great to have Han coming off the bench with her versatility, not just her ability to post us up. Now, she did get blocked a few times, which is, you don't see that happen very often. But she stretched it out and shot that three. That was a big shot for us. She's getting more comfortable. So I've been really happy, the coaches with her development this year, and I think it's going to get better and better. But when we can go to the post and we know we can get a scoring punch, and for the most part, her defense was quite good too. So you need depth. That's critical for us. So we need to be able to go to the bench and utilize them as much as we can.
Also, the headliner tonight has to be Sabrina Ionescu, 23 points on 6 of 11 shooting out there. How excited were you to see Sabrina step up in a time of, for lack of a better term, crisis like this, and how exciting of an opportunity is this for her to firmly establish her place in the W at this point in time?
Look, Sabrina's a winner. She really is. She hates losing as bad as anybody, but, it really, the last few games she's had a few niggles that has limited her mobility, but she's feeling better, and you saw that tonight. She could push off and she could actually get by people, and she struggled in the other games. If you can't get by people, it's kind of hard when they're a little taller than you. But she was able to do that tonight. But she let the game come to her. She moved it when she should have. She makes buckets really. She made a big shot, the threes. And she gets a lot of attention too. But it helps with Crystal being out there because it takes a little bit of pressure off her as a handler. And it allows, we needed a pure point guard, so it can kind of, allows her to get off and just be a bit of a scorer and playmaker off the ball and not have to bring the ball up all the time. But I was really, really happy with her defense in that fourth quarter. I mean, she's competing, and that's where we say, she can. We just got to keep telling her to be consistent. So it was good to see her back to her old self, and that's because she's a little bit more healthier, to be quite honest.
Appreciate your time and insight. Enjoy the win.
Hi, Coach. Deshaun Jones from NBA Online. The Indiana Fever has a former Liberty player, and Bria Hartley, and it seemed like in the second quarter she was one of the players that helped spark a minor run. What did you tell your players during that second quarter to slow them down and adjust defensively to get them back in the game?
She's a scorer. I coached Bria Hartley the last few years, and she was great for me, and I knew exactly what she could do. And even though she's coming back from injury, we didn't execute the scout. We're going under. She's an over player because she could shoot. We overhelped a little bit too much, and we just said you got to get it, play in a space. So speed's not quite back. You had to play in a space as much as we can. You saw tonight we switched a lot, and I thought that was effective for us. Made her shots a little bit more contested than they were in the first half. It's great to see her back though. She's one of my favourites.
Jackie.
Hi, Sandy. What do you think this win represents?
Well, good question. Jackie, you always got these good questions coming out here. Look, it represents that, where there's the second half year we just decided we're going to compete. I think it shows that we've got heart. Everyone gets tired of losing, but you could hear when there's a lot of talking in the locker room at halftime and all that. That for me, that's encouraging because they're still locked in and they know, they want to win and they want to do it together the only way they can. So I think it shows our togetherness there, that we're just going to fight, and we did that. And even if it wasn't always perfect, in that second quarter we didn't execute the scout. We got players coming on not executing, and we can't do that, but we stayed together, we stayed the course, and you got to keep believing. It's a long season, I said that, and we just got to find some kind of consistency and rhythm, and hopefully get some healthy players back.
And so what were some of the things that you heard during that halftime? You said the players were talking.
Well, they talked about what we weren't doing with the scout that we had put in place, the things that were easy fixes, control the controllables. Excellence is about, having discipline to do common things for really, really long times. So that's the part of it. We had to fight, and we found some fight.
Let's do one more. Jackie, is that?
Yeah, I do have
Okay.
more if it's okay.
That's fine.
When it comes to what Beck was able to do, not just offensively, but defensively, you know, practice the day before, you must have said Kelsey Mitchell's name 50 times. You know, what really was Beck able to do to try to stop her?
Look, Beck has length. You know, she's not going to beat you with physicality, but she has that length, those arms, and she can move pretty well and you know, stay in place. And I think that was quite, you know, that's tough for her. But it took everyone. Kelsey Mitchell, she's a really good player. So we just tried to crowd her and execute our scout as much as we can. Didn't execute as much in that second quarter when we weren't switching when we were supposed to and giving them wide open looks. But it's just knowing who we don't want to shoot. And that was Vivian's and Kelsey Mitchell, and be helpers of, you know, of the other players around there without creating offensive rebounds. So, you know, I thought Beck was really solid for us. She's a two-way player, and we need that. You know, we have Crystal Dangerfield that could contain that, but the point guard, she did a good job of D-Rob and Henderson. You need another player with, you know, Sab's not going to be the lock-me-down defender, so you need that other wing player that can step up and guard their best players, and that's Beck's responsibility at the moment.
Great, thank you, Sandy.
Thanks, guys.